So I'm looking at the cards that are gonna be removed, right? Let's look at basic silver, gold. No, there's no basic legendaries, is there? Okay. All these cards are being removed from Take Two. Let's just so we can see all the cards. Actually, I have all the basic cards, so no reason to do that. And not animated. Okay. All right, these are the cards being removed from the basic set. Elf Metallurgist is pretty good for Forest. They're gonna be sad they're losing this. I don't think I've ever seen these cards in Take Two. Rose Gardener, not that great. They prefer Elf and Princess Mage as their 4-drop to evolve. Full French is a big deal. Full French is like huge. This is like the reason that Sword just like crushes on turn 4 a lot of the time. They're still gonna have Juno, which means they're still gonna have good turn 4s. But this is like they're definitely gonna miss this card. Royal Banner is alright. Like you don't want to draft too many of them, but one of them can push a lot of damage. It's like losing a decent card. For Rune, even Flame Mage, it's alright. You don't really see it that often. You don't see Rune very often, so you don't really see the card very often. It's not that great. There's better things they can do on turn 4. Yeah. Dragon Warrior, another great card on turn 4 for Dragon. They're really gonna miss it. They'll have Siegfried, I believe. Still. Oh, sorry, Siegfried Standard. Anyways, yeah, they're gonna really miss Dragon Warrior. You know, like all the classes are losing their big turn 4 swings. So it's just joins them in that. Same with Playful Necromancer. Another great turn 4 swing card. It's not as good as like Dragon Warrior, Priest of Kudril, or a Wardrobe Raider, but it's still pretty good. Reason not that good because it has the stats in the wrong places. It has a 4/3 stat, so it trades a lot of time instead of killing something and living. Hell's Unleasher, you don't see that very often either in Take Two. It's like alright. Not like the best thing. Still good. Again, Blood's really gonna miss this card. Same with Priest of Kudril. Priest of Kudril's like amazing. I think Haven's really gonna be hurting missing Priest of Kudril. It allows it like this card allows them to play like Amulet, and turn 4 Kudril, and then get back on the board. If they play Amulet on turn 2, Amulet on turn 3, they're not gonna have a really good way to get back on the board until turn 5 if they have a Lion. Or until their amulets activate. Lightning Shooter is kind of meh. Like for again, Rune's just not that great, and it's not that great of a card. Greater Priestess is fine. Actually, you don't really usually want to pick this up because the stats are bad. And like sometimes you get the Fanfare's okay, but you think you'd rather just have like better 5-drop. Dual Flames, they're definitely not gonna miss this card. Magna Botanist, it's very awkward. It costs 6 play points. So it's gonna be hard to play this and combo it. Like you need to like have 2 fairies and play it on turn 8. It makes it kind of awkward. So not really gonna miss this card too much. Stage Commander is really great. In Sword, they're really gonna miss this card. Demonic Storm, I don't think not too much. I don't think Blood's really gonna care too much if they don't get this. Red Dragon's okay. Gonna be slightly missed. But I think Dragon already has a bunch of good tempo cards. And you just picked it up because you have to sometimes. Conflag is great. Like it's gonna be good that you don't have to play around Conflag anymore. But you're gonna have to be playing around Lightning Breath instead. Oh god, it's gonna be awful. Undead King, like if you have to get a big drop, it's alright, but you'd rather just draft Kawi all the time instead of this card. Bissell Beast, it's the same thing as like Dread Dragon. The problem with Bissell Beast is you have to have Vengeance. You're not always gonna have vengeance. It's hard to get vengeance in take 2, I find. So you're not gonna miss this too much. Flame Destroyer, it's very rare you're gonna get this to work well, so it's like not too bad that they're gonna lose this card. No, that's all the basics that we're losing, right? Now we're losing the whole standard set. Losing everything from the standard set. Let's go by class because there's so much stuff. So we'll go with neutral. Angelic Snipe's not gonna be too missed. Either Minotaur, Bellring Angel, not really. Keen Enchantment. You don't want Keen Enchantment ever, right? Same with Trail of Light. Same with Alter Fate. These are bad cards to pick up. Angelic Angel's not that great. Healing Angel's really good. Like this is a decent neutral card that you would want to get, and when you neutral picks. Lizard Man. Oh man, so sad. We're losing Lizard Man. Cloud Chorus is the same as like Keen Enchantment. You don't want to draft those cards ever. Angelic Barrage. Now you have no reason to play around Angelic Barrage because you actually can't have it. Desert Rider. Another just like, it's fine if you get it, but you don't really want to. There's better things you can get. Just like the vanilla stats, and his stats are like kind of in the wrong place. 4/3. Urd's a great card to pick up if you're playing Shadow. Like you're really happy if you get this in Shadow, but that's about it. Sometimes it works if you have Storm, but it also can de-evolve stuff, which is good. It's gonna be kind of missed. Demonic Strike. It is like crappy removal and sometimes pushes the lethal. It's like whatever, I don't want. You pick it up when you can, I guess. When it's not a better option. Path Territory is already out. Like you couldn't play this card anyways. Goblin Mount Demon is a really good neutral card. You don't. It's good to me. It's like it just kind of lowers. I think it lowers the overall quality of your neutral picks because you can't get this thing. Wind God. Like if you can draft Wind God, you're kind of favored. This is such a good card, Arena. Execution. Your big fat amulets are probably gonna have a good chance of surviving unless you're playing against Dragon. So execution's gone. So it's. I think you're gonna have less chance of getting a decent removal on 5 neutral removal. Yeah, Lizard Man's gonna get removed. This is all happening when the patch hits on the 29th. Angel Crusher, no one cares about this guy. Athena can be okay, but again, like these gold cards are pretty rare to see. Now we got to like the legendaries. These are kind of a big deal. Also Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is also gonna like lower your overall like value neutral picks. Gabriel's like usually really good. Take 2. Gives you a body. You have something on board. It lets you push damage or trade properly. And like get a good trade from this. Lucifer can be like surprise lethal. 4 damage is quite a bit. You evolve him. And he like requires to be removed right away, so yeah, he's gone. Prince of Darkness, like a game ending thing. It's a lot slower win con than like Bahamut. Bahamut's something you just win the next turn you play him. This guy might require like maybe the next turn or the turn after or the turn after that. But he does, after a few turns, he'll definitely close out the game. Yeah, those are the neutrals that we're losing. So I think Arena's gonna get, neutrals are gonna get better because we're losing Keen Enchantment, Altered Fate, Cloud Chorus, Trail of Light. But the good ones that we're losing are Goblin Mount Demon, Execution, Wind God, Gilgamesh, and then the legendaries. I'm gonna do Forestcraft now. Here we go. Waltzing Fairy, not too bad. They're losing it. Hamlin, again, not too bad losing it. Carnivorous Flower is really bad. They're glad they're losing this card. On the 29th, and then when the next match hits, the in take 2 we're losing a bunch of these cards. In take 2, not constructed. Ancient Elf is amazing, legendary. They're gonna be super sad they're losing this card. This card can like win take 2 by itself. Oh, they're also losing Elven Princess Mage. Ah, that's bad for them. Elemental Lance, they don't really care. Just crappy removal. Pixie Paradise, again, it's decent take 2, but it's not too bad they're losing it. Elven Princess Mage is a big deal. It's in the same plane as like losing Ujul and stuff like that. This card's really great in Forest. Yeah, losing Mana Elk. Losing Petal Fencer. It's not the best, like, it's like pretty poor golden card to get. So you're gonna be happy that they can't get this in their golden legendary picks. Way of Outlaw is pretty bad removal. Harvest Festival's terrible. Fairy Caster's not so great. Like, it gives you fairies. Like, his stats are bad. He's pretty slow. Like, you don't want to play on turn 5. His stats are just terrible. They're not gonna be too sad they're losing the Elf Prophetess either. It's like usually like tempos you out. You just want your guys on board to go face and take 2. You don't really care about tempo plays. Like being able to play a thing with fanfare again. Double Fairy, they don't really care about losing this card at all. They never want to see this card. Robin Hood's okay. Like, again, there's better golds and legendaries you can get. It's in the middle. It's like average pick. This is usually bad. This is amazing. So they're like losing value here, but gaining value because we can't pick this card anymore. Will of Forest is it really depends on your draft. And depends when you can play it. But yeah, it can be like a huge tempo swing because you can just clear the enemy board turn 5 and get back on your own game plan. They're gonna be kind of sad to lose this. Tanya's probably not too bad. Like, it can be really good in take 2 because it just like if those evolve every turn can be a big deal. But playing an amulet on turn 5 is not that great. Plus, they wouldn't want to pick this anymore because of Lightning Breath. Lightning Breath would just like destroy this. Elder Treant. Again, it's cost 6, so it's also like the Botanist. It's awkward to get this to activate with 2 cards because you need to play on like turn 8. Fairy Beast. Losing the healing is okay, but the stats are not that great. The healing can be a big deal though in take 2. Fairy Princess. Not gonna be too sad losing this legendary. Homecoming. I don't think I've ever seen Homecoming in take 2. But I don't think it's be too bad for them. These big guys are losing some big dudes. That's not too big of a deal. Silver Bolt rarely works in take 2. Same with Rose Queen. Rose Queen rarely works in take 2. Like maybe you can get this as a win con, but it's very hard. Because you need to draft all the fairies, keep the fairies in your hand, place on turn 8, survive, and then hopefully have enough fairies to kill the opponent. And this is like another like slow but not that great card. Has Word, was okay. But he doesn't give it self protection from spells and effects. So it can die to just removal. Only to arena. It's only arena. Let's do Swordcraft. Swordcraft is gonna be in tiers, I think. Here we go. Snippy Gardener. Snippity snip. Actually, sorry, I'm a little head here. Wait, did I miss cards in Forestcraft? Oh, I did. I missed the whole row here. I'll have to go back. We're losing May. May's really great. That's overall, I think overall bronze, so we can go down because this. Same with Fairy Champion. No, sorry, the opposite of Fairy Champion. Fairy Champion's terrible. May's great. Fairy Champion's terrible. Guidance is good, but I don't think it's not being as missed as May. Fairy Cycle's being missed because it's gonna be. It's usually how they get their fairies to do combos. They don't care about this card. It's a terrible card. They're glad they're losing this over. This is like an average 2-drop. Can bounce something back, get value on the replay, but not too bad. They're gonna miss this. Not gonna miss this card. Not gonna miss this card. Not gonna miss this card either. This is like a fighter, just a fighter in Take 2. Blessed Fairy Dancer is a pretty good silver. I think I'm gonna miss this card. Rhino Roach. It usually trades, I think, in Take 2. It's not that great. There's better golds and legendaries you can get. You're not gonna have like Roach 20 damage lethal in Take 2. Pixie Mischief. Sometimes a good tempo play. Like you can bounce something really big and just bounce something small on your side. But I think you just want like a curve. Sometimes this kind of ruins your curve. Woodland Curse is really great in Take 2 because it allows you to trade a fairy with something that's like a 6-drop or something. They're gonna miss this card, but they have the 3-drop guy who creates this anyways. Force of Dreams. Slows the opponent down, but otherwise not that good. Knife Juggler is pretty good in Arena. It's like, but usually it can be removed. Like maybe you can get some value on the turn you play it, but it's gonna be removed right away because poor stats. And the sprite's just like the same thing as like the Forest of Dreams. It just slows the opponent down a little bit. In late game, it can be really good because it stops your opponent from having lethal, and you can set up your own lethal somehow. So it's the tempo you get from it in late game is really good. But they're losing it. All right, that's Forestcraft. Go to Sword now. Ninja Trainee. Oh boy, I'm losing Ninja Trainee. That's a big deal, I think. Losing 1-drop's a big deal. I guess like losing Ninja Trainee is like pretty bad for Sword. But losing Vanguard is huge. This card, like, getting to turn 1 or like filling out your curve with this card is really good. Because a lot of the time they're gonna be moving one thing at a time with an evolve. If you're winning on board, you have to play something evolve, kill one thing. So if you play 2 things in a turn, your Vanguard can survive, and then maybe you can buff it to do more damage or trade with something. That's a big deal losing this card. Losing Perfect Soldier, really good 2-drop. Losing Frontlines. It's not the greatest gold pickup, so they're not too sad. This is going away. Palace Fencer is great because it gives allows you to like trade a 2-drop with something with 3 health or something like that, or just push damage. Do not be sad losing Cyclone Soldier. This is one of the worst 2-drops they have. Losing Center Vanguard. It's not the best 2-drop because it doesn't really do anything on curve, but in late game can raid or push damage if you have a commander. Veteran Lancer is like one of their best 2-drops because you play this on turn 2 and you like force a trade. Forcing the trade is a big deal because it means they can't just win by like flooding the board early. If you can force a trade, let's say you like miss your 3-drop, but if you force the trade, they don't gain value on like their 2-drop anymore by doing some extra damage. Also in late game, it can block something really big if they don't have removal for it. Yeah, they're gonna be really sad to miss this card. Maid Leader is good, cycles itself. So it's like good in early game because it gives you card advantage. Good in late game because it's not a bad top deck because you play it and you get 2 cards. You play this card and then you get another card. So it's good throughout the whole game. So they're gonna be pretty sad they're missing this card. Assassin, okay. No, not the greatest, but it's not the worst. Luminous Knight. It's not it's also again like Assassin, not the greatest, not the worst. Princess Vanguard is really good if you draft 1-drops or things that create 1-drops. Otherwise, it's not the best. That wouldn't be too bad they're losing this card, but there's really Vanguard and Ninja Trainee. Not too bad they're also losing the Princess Vanguard. Conscription, they don't never want to pick this card usually, so that's good for them. They're losing this card. Same with Iron Rod Fortress. They never want to pick this as a silver drop. So I think they're looking at these cards here. Just these like 6. I think the overall silver value is going to go up. Of course, with like the addition of new cards, I think there's a chance that their overall silver is also going to go down. But if they have more chance to pick up Juno, it's good for them. Fencer is a big deal. Fencer just allows you to win on curve. You play one of your officers in turn 2. So you're going first. You play your officer in turn 2. They play a turn 2 drop. You play Fencer. You kill their turn. You kill their turn 2 with your turn 2. With your 2 drop, I mean. It's a huge deal. Also, like, as you push damage, lets you trade. Good. It's just a really good card. And it's gonna be good for everyone because you always had to like kill their 2-drop officer with your 2-drop because you're worried about Fencer. Because if they play Fencer, you just get crushed. Now you don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to play around this card anymore. Novice Trooper is a big deal. It allows them to trade or get that face damage in. It slows down Sword quite a bit. Snippy Gardener. It's gonna be, not that great. I don't think it's too bad for them. Obviously, it's not bad. There's like worse things, but it's not the best. Navy Lieutenant. They're not gonna have a lot of 3-drop 2/3s. Like those are usually good in Take 2. This is like one of the only ones I have. Like, obviously, this effect's not great, and it's not an officer, so it's not like good early game, but it's a 2/3. Pompous Princess, again, losing 1-drops. And if you play this without the 1-drop in your deck, it's really bad. So it's not too bad to losing this card. It just means they don't get like a God curve. If they play like 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop is the Pompous Princess, and they get 1-drop, they don't get that like dominant early game. Gemstaff Commander. It's like not the best gold, so they're not gonna be too bad. They're losing this card. Giant Slayer and let's see, I'm gonna go Giant Slayer and Swordsman. They're losing both these at the same time. These are like those are only like Giant Slaying effects, and then Tsubaki, right? They're losing all those cards. So your opponents no longer have to worry about evolving into like their 5 attack anymore. So you don't have to play around these cards, which is a big deal. Courageous Knight is a good 4-drop. I'm gonna miss this one. Like a good bronze 4-drop. Curse General. These are terrible or just like amazing. It also requires being removed right away. And you can no longer get the Shadow Assassin Curse General combo. Both cards are getting removed. Sad. It's been went over. Shadow Assassin can be like amazing, or it can just be like kind of crappy, because it has poor stats for its cost. But let's say you have a big board. Instead of trading, you go all face and you play Shadow Assassin, so they can't clear your board. Set up like lethal that way. Just protects all your guys. It's like really good. But again, not the best gold or legendary, so it's not gonna be too bad. Because if they can pick better golds and legendaries than this card, they'll be happy. Latham, probably one of the worst. Pretty on the low end of things you can get as gold. Give him Stratagem, usually on the low end. You don't want to pick this card up. Rousing Step. If it's like a win more card. If you're winning, you win even harder. So it's gonna stop Sword from rolling you over, like real quick. If they can't get this on their board. Entry is not that great. I usually try to avoid picking this guy. So it's not too bad that they're losing this one. First of all, they're super happy they're losing this guy. Same with like Noble Knight. Noble Knight's just this poor man's Monica. Like as silver drop 5 drops go, you want Monica 100% of the time over these guys. These guys are pretty bad compared to her. I found Aurelia not doing so well anymore. Her stats aren't good enough for the amount of like removal and shit's going around. Like sometimes she can be a big roadblock, but I feel like she's pretty easy to remove. You did better legendaries. Onslaught, they're not being too sad to losing this card. I think Onslaught's like the worst. The worst like 5 drop. Just like feature removal, follower removal. They're not too sad in losing this card. They're in light, they're super happy they don't have to get this in take 2 anymore. Warband Cavalier, again, like these Warband Cavalier and Admiral are pretty poor as 6 drops go. They're not gonna be too sad they're missing these ones. Losing Otahime is a big deal. Losing Tsubaki is a big deal. Losing Always Command even a bigger deal. God, this card's pretty cancer in take 2. Just the value you get off of it. 1 card, you get two followers. Getting to push 3 storm damage or evolve for 5 storm damage. Or you can evolve the Viking, the 2/3 with ward to clear something. Also protects your 3/2 from getting some extra face damage. Ron General is an amazing 7 drop. Forces maybe 2 pieces of removal or clearing like up to 3 things to get through it because it's so resilient. They're gonna be sad they're losing this card. And Rage General. Terrible. They're glad they're losing this card. And Dragon Newt Charlotte's not bad. Not as great as like Albedo's Command or Front Guard General as gold cards go, but it's not too bad of a pickup. No. The oh right, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, the Viking is the one. Okay, Viking, yeah, the other way around. Viking is the 3/2. I get the mix up. You're right. That's sword. Gold rune. All right, rune. Oh boy, rune. I feel like I missed cards, but maybe not. Commence Experiment. Silver. Not the greatest silver. Actually pretty poor silver. They're gonna be pretty happy they don't have to pick this one. Penguin's just like a fighter. That's it. Just a fighter. Not too bad. They're losing this. Crafty Warlock though. This allows them to get an early Earth Essence. Earthright. Yeah, and it's like one of the only ways they're gonna get Earthright, while also getting tempo playing a creature. He's actually pretty good, so they're gonna be kind of sad to lose this guy. He's just a fighter with a good upside. Does it get you a Conjure Golem? 3/3 with ward. A spell. This is a good way to use your Earthrights. Not the best way to do your Earthrights, but it's like it also doubles as a turn 2 just fighter, so it's kind of sad that they're losing this card. Scholar Witch. Again, it's like just a poor 2-drop. You don't want to use your evolve on this because usually you don't get tempo. You get card advantage, but you want tempo as well. You don't really get that much tempo from evolving it. It only evolves into a 3/2. Kaleidoscope Glow. Huge tempo card. It's a new card. Sad they're losing this card. Losing really good Earth Rights. Losing Teachings of Creation. Card's like great. It's a big deal. Because it just like late game gets to cycle and is Earth Right. So you don't lose tempo, you don't lose card advantage by playing Earthright because it just draws you a new card. Runic Guardian is a good 3-drop because it's a 3 point 2/3, so you can kill their 2-drop most of the time. So losing this card. Also, it's a decent outlet to spend your Earthrights. Gauntleted Healer. They're losing that thickness. Damn. So sad. Spectre Wizard, not a great silver card. Kind of sad they're losing it. I mean, they're not sad they're losing it. They're happy that they're losing this card. I mean, because it's not the greatest silver card. You just play it on curve and that's it. You don't really want to evolve it because the stats are bad. Sorcerer Catch, they're not sad they're losing this card. It's a dead card if you don't have anything to spell boost in your hand. And a lot of time you just don't have anything to spell boost. And it just sits in your hand, it's super dead. Petrification. Really great removal. And if you have Earthright's, even better removal. Yeah, they're losing this card. One of the better silver drops to get. I mean, silver cards to get. First Curse, gold card. Not the best gold card. Like you think it would be in Take 2, because it is like kind of drawing cards, but each of the curses aren't that great. Like 2 damage for 3 is under not the value you want from a 3-cost removal. And then 5 damage for 6 is not great. And then 8 damage for 9 is like, what, playing a 9-cost removal card is really bad because you can't play anything beside it. Usually with removal it's nice because you can play a body and a removal in the same turn. So you can kind of like push damage after you remove something, but if you just spend a whole turn removing something, you're just gonna play on the board again. They get initiative again to play on the board, and you're just kind of in the same spot. So it's not a great gold card. They're not gonna be not too bad. They're losing it. Elementary Alchemy is like the Crafty Warlock, where Crafty Warlock gets you Earthright on death. This gets you the Earthright right away. It gets you a 2/2. Just click home, just a 2/2. It's not too bad losing it, but we're losing a lot of Earthright cards. Even Price of Magic is actually usually good because it's removal and Earthright. They're not losing Red Hot Ritual though. Red Hot Ritual is probably the best. Like it's a lot better than Price of Magic and Elementary Alchemy. Crest Wizard. I think it's okay. Not too bad losing him. Like average. Veteran Alchemist. Healing is good in Arena sometimes, especially when it's healing on a body. It's not the best way to spend your Earthrights, but it's not like the worst. And then his stats are good. A 2/5 is good stats. It's not going to die very easily. Yeah, they're going to miss this card. Queen Mebd. Her stats are huge. Her stats are huge for her cost. But her downside is you can't play follower cards while it's in play, but not too big of a deal. Because you can play, you can still play spells that create followers. So it's usually a good silver card. I'm kind of sad to lose this one. This one's stats can be massive, but it's pretty rare that you actually get this to work. You have to try to get a lot of spells to go along with it. So not too bad to lose this one. Merlin. Like, it's better things to evolve because it's usually the evolve stats are not that great, but it does draw you 2 cards. It's kind of good in take 2. But there's better legendaries definitely. Fissure Bomb can be good removal. There's a way to spend your Earthrights. Fiery Chain or Fire Chain, not the greatest gold. You usually want creatures for gold, such as spells. This one's not that great. I don't usually want to play this because turn 4 is pretty important. He's got a 3/3 turn 4. You only get the Earthright, you lose tempo. Roller Mage is bad. Fire Witch is really good if it doesn't get removed, but his stats are bad. So it's not too bad they're losing it, but it can get value. It's like iffy. So it's not too bad they're losing this card. I think they're losing a lot of these Earthlight cards, but they still keep all like the they're still gonna have Craig and Clark and stuff like that. Maybe if they're losing these cards, they're gonna have a better chance of getting those kind of combos. Ancient Alchemist is really, really, really good. They're losing a bunch of Earthlight cards, so maybe it wouldn't be like as good, but it's a really great gold. It can. This is a big deal, losing this card. Fate's Hand. I've seen it played as like a 5 cost or 4 cost draw 2 a lot of time in take 2. So it's like it can be a pot of greed, but it also could cost 5 because they don't have any spells, they just have creatures. Maybe they're not gonna be too bad in this card. There's 0 ways to make Earthrights. Yeah, terrible. There's still the basic set still keeps its bronze cards. There's still ways you can get Earthrights, but it's not. You usually have quite a few of them here. Golem Protection, pretty bad silver, which is Caprice. Not the greatest gold drop. They're not gonna be too bad missing one. Same with Conjuring Force. You rarely get enough spells to make this worth it. Plus, you lose a lot of tempo by playing this at turn 5. Master Alchemist, not the greatest 6 drop, but it's not like the worst. His stats are okay, but it's because it's got the 6 health. There's better bronze cards you can get. Name's Bird Witch. Like, it's not bad. There's better stuff you can get. Gem Golem. Another Earthright card is getting removed. Has 4 stats for its cost, but can get protection. Again, 6 health is good, but some better cards. It was Witchcraft or Magicka. We're losing so much. We're losing so much, but it's not that great. This card's terrible. Never pick it ever, and it can never be picked again. So good. Dragon Band Mage is awkward because it costs so much. You have to like play it on in a spell in the same turn, like in really like maybe turn 9 or 10. And yeah, it's gonna die because it's 2 health. Not that great. Twin Guardians, no one cares. Alchemist Lores like can be pretty good, but you don't really comes up very often. It's like Dragon's losing Conflag, and they're losing this card. Junos. Yeah. This card's amazing. It's the same vein of like losing Ancient Alchemist. They're just so good. Such great like gold cards for Rune and losing them. Grimace. He's good. You're still gonna be able to get the spell that creates him though. Dimensional Shift. I've never seen this in Take 2. But you never want to pick it up in Take 2 because it's gonna be impossible to make work. And Mythical Golem can be okay, but still not the greatest legendary you can get. So yeah, those are its Rune. Rune's losing some like Earth rights. But overall, it's not too bad other than Ancient Alchemist and Juno. So they're the two cards that are really, really good they're going to be losing. And to concede. Alright, Dragon. What's happening in Dragon? Let's go. Losing their, like, only one drop. Yeah, losing their only one drop. Now you have to play Egg instead. You have to play Egg on turn 1 instead of this guy. Maelstrom Dragon. It's like losing, it's like how Swords losing Centaur. Losing Maelstrom Dragon, does the same thing. But you don't, not really the greatest turn 2 play. Maelstrom Dragon is actually pretty decent. Its stats are good, because it can like clear a bunch of like, you can clear 2 Maelstrom Dragons. Fire Lizard, big deal. This is a really good bronze early drop. Because it kills their like their 2/1. Bronze basic cards still appear. Bronze standard cards are gone. All standards gone. Unless they worded it wrong in the patch notes. Yeah, this is for standard. This is standard, not basic. Losing Dragon Loot Scholar. It's the best part of this card is that it can't be attacked. So they don't have removal. They can just like push like so much damage. But it's also a gold card, and they rather see better gold legendary cards, better bombs. Losing Shapeshift Mage not great. Like again, like they'd rather see better gold legendary cards in this one. This is just a 2-drop. It's just a fighter. I don't want to get a fighter in their gold legendary slot. Dragon Wings. Lower offense is a basic card, not a standard card. But yeah, they're losing the silver basic cards. Dragon Wings. Yeah, it's good, but they're not the best because it affects both sides of the board. Again, it's like the opponent doesn't have to play around this anymore. Wild Hunt, Execution. This can be okay in take 2. It's done pretty well before, but I think rather it's like a lot of the time you just want bodies to play in curve, and it's gonna ruin your hand. Also doesn't, you have to do damage and then kill something. So if something big, either they evolved and traded, then this is good, or you have to trade something then use it. So you like 2-for-1 yourself, or you have to have some kind of ping. So you have to have a situational ping. So it's situational, very good. Also has a chance of just not doing anything. Dragon Emissary just cycles. Not too bad losing it, but it's not like too bad if they have to pick it up. Dragon's Den, they're super happy. It's like the worst silver like ever. It's like you just lose the game by playing this card. Aurelia, you lose ramp. Like they lose tempo by playing this on turn 3 instead of another 2-drop. I mean another 3-drop like a 3/2 or a 2/3, but you get they lose ramp. That's kind of a big deal. Yeah, this is like early game crappy, late game 3 cost 4/4. It's not too bad to losing it. I don't really care. They'd rather get other bronze cards, I think. Rock, the same vein as like Aurelia. If it survives, it might get some extra damage, might kill something bigger than it, but it's just not. The 2 health is so easy to get rid of. Trinity Dragon. I feel like since more removal been added to the game, there it's not that great anymore. It used to be like you just play on turn 3 and win the game because they couldn't remove it. And since there's more removal in the game, it's not doing so well. I don't think it's that bad to lose this card. Dragon Loot Princess, again, you don't want to play in turn 3 because it has poor stats. But it can be really great late game because it does that 3 damage if you overflow. Not the greatest silver though. Like, you'd rather get Lightning Breath than any of these silver cards. This is like a better 3-drop because it has 3 health. But you don't really want to evolve it because you don't get the 2/2 stats, 2+2 stats. You do ramp, which can be okay if you have a good endgame. Prison Dragon. It's good. I think they're kind of sad losing this card. Slows down the opponent a lot. And if they don't remove it, sometimes you can just evolve and hit them for 5. Because it's not bad, because its stats it's overstated for its cost. And has ward. So late game, it can protect you from something big. So they're sad losing this card. Ace Dragoon's terrible. They're glad losing it. So overall, from like their silver cards are losing it, it's pretty good for them. Dragon's Cry. Usually don't want to get it. Because if you're behind on board, it's really bad. If you're ahead, just win more. Flint Dragon, like Fire Lizard. Fire Lizard is better because it's cheaper. For the same effect as this card. Card just poorly statted for a drop with a thing attached to it. Grim Reaper is a really good silver card. They're sad losing this one. Leviathan's okay. With Leviathan you don't want to play early because it can't attack, but in later game it's a cheap 4-drop, just like the Twin-Head Dragon's like a cheap 4/4. It's a cheap 6/5. But it only really works in overflow. Yeah, this is I'll take 2. As you can see, I think I put it in the description of the stream. Deathmist Dragon, not too bad. It's a pretty bad gold card, actually. They don't want this. Urban Forest, they don't want this. Gratification, they don't usually want to get this. I'm gonna go a little faster now, I think. This is a good bronze card. They're gonna be sad they lose this because it does end the game sometimes because of Storm. A lot of Storm cards getting removed, which is good, I think. Storm's pretty cancerous in Take 2. Lightning Behemoth, they're not sad losing this guy. You don't want to get this guy most of the time. Phoenix Roost. Rip. Dragon Rider Devil. Really, really bad stats for a 6-drop. But sometimes can kill their 5-drop amulet. But I think a lot of 5-drop amulets get removed from the game anyways. So it's not a big deal losing this guy. Mist Dragon, again. I feel like there's more removal in the game. This guy's harder to get to work. So it's not too bad losing it. Cavalier is only good if you have another big drop to go along with it. Forte. Rip Forte. Forte can be like just, it's like so polarizing. It's either it's a 6-cost removal spell, you have to use it as removal, or it's 6-cost win the game. Yeah, there's better legendaries. Sadly, like in Take 2, you can't really build your deck to just win off the Storm on her. And like same thing with Mist Dragon. There's like, I feel like there's more removal, so it's easier to get rid of her. I think I've seen Forte trade more than I've seen her go face in Take 2. Wormspire, again, like Phoenix Roost, they don't really care. kind of bad, kind of a bad golden amulet. You don't want to get this as a gold drop. Skull Dragon has good health, but doesn't really, like, things will evolve and just kill it. This attack's not very high. Glacial Dragon, not sad for losing this card. Shenlong, not the greatest silver drop. Hydra, pretty bad gold drop. Inferno Dragon, super happy that this is gone. This is like such a, like, just a fat card that just, if they don't remove for it, it can do something, but it's not that great. Losing some legendaries. Losing Zernyata. Zern. Itra, I don't know, whatever, however you pronounce her name. Not the best legendary, not the worst legendary. Kind of like in the middle. Fafnir. Fafnir's been outclassed by a bunch of other things, so it's not too bad at losing him. Orb Dragon, just a bad Odin. Genesis Dragon. Yeah, we're losing Genesis Dragon. I'm glad we're losing these kind of ridiculous storm cards. They just like win the game. I'm glad we're losing this one. Because this one can trade. Unlike Forte, she just kills herself when she trades. This guy can actually trade and survive. So you play him on, if you can't go face with him, you can still trade with him on turn 10. Yes, that's Dragon. Shadow. Like losing one of their only 1-drops. Losing like their 1-drops, yeah, losing their 1-drops. Losing Soul Conversion. Losing Soul Conversion is a huge deal. It's like one of the only ways to get Attendant of Knight and Lurching Corpse to actually work. Soul Conversion. It also gives them a big boost to their card advantage. Burial Grounds is a nice 1-drop, but it's like not the best silver card. Like losing Skeleton Fighter as 1-drop is kind of bad, but it's also a silver card, so there's better silver cards usually. Like Kawi. Yeah, so losing a lot of tempo cards. This is a terrible gold card. They're very glad they're losing this one. Pretty average 2-drop. Pretty under average 2-drop. This is not the greatest 2-drop because it doesn't have the attack, but it cycles itself, which is good. Lesser Mummies, like one of the better 2-drops. They're really sad for losing this one. Deathly Widow is usually just like a fighter. Sometimes it's a 4/4 for 2, which is okay, but it uses so much shadows. Highway to Hell, they're not. It's usually like a 2-for-1 on yourself because you usually play Bane on something that's weaker than the thing you're trying to kill, so it's like 2-for-1 yourself there. Ethereal Form, they're glad they're losing this one. Terrible silver card. This is a really good 3-drop. And like losing a bunch of 3-drops. So maybe the curse of getting just nothing but 3-drops is going to be lifted, but we'll have to see. Good 3-drop, good 3-drop, average 3-drop. Slightly above average 3-drop, I think. It really can't. It's hard to evolve this thing though. Like these guys can evolve and kill something. This guy's hard to evolve and survive because of 1 health. There's a lot of time, like let's say you don't have a 4-drop and they played their 3-drop and it's a 3-attack creature. This guy can't evolve and kill it, but all these guys can evolve and kill the 3-drop 3-attack and survive. This guy can't survive. Necro Elementalist makes it awkward for the opponent sometimes because it acts as having like 3-attack. It also can clear a bunch of like 1 health things. This is a really bad silver drop. They never want to get this, so they're glad to lose this one. Madam Lich, they're not a great gold card. Not a bad gold card, but it's not great. So they'd rather steal their gold cards and legendaries. This is decent removal, because it's 3 damage is kind of good. But they're getting Zombie Party. Zombie Party is just better than this card. Losing Imperious Resurrection, another card that allows you to kill your Lurching Corpse and your Tendon Knight. so they're kind of sad they're missing this one, but there's better ways to kill off your Lurching Corpse than Tandem Knights. Battle Tempest, losing their like only AoE in the game. Like their only AoE. Gluttony Courier. And it's a meh 4-drop, not too bad losing it. Scout Rider, also a meh 4-drop. Sometimes you have enough Necromancy to get it to work. Like if you have enough Necromancy to get it to work, it's really good, but it costs 6, so 6 is a lot. Just an average gold card. And not too bad they're losing this one. One of the worst gold cards they can get, so they're happy to lose this one. Bad silver drop. Phantom Howl. Phantom Howl is like either a really poor board clear or a game-winning face damage card. Again, it's like polarizing, like Forte is. Forte is like bad removal, or like could win the game. The same thing with Phantom Howl. Soul Eater, like just a vanilla 5-drop. Sometimes the healing can matter a bit. Soul Glutton's good. Soul Glutton's like can clear stuff. Like this is Vault. This clear stuff with 7 health. Where this guy can't clear stuff with 7 health, this guy can clear stuff with 7 health and more. It's a big deal. And makes it hard for them to play something big. Like we play this Evolve, kill something with 7 or more health, or whatever. Maybe kill someone with 5 health. And then it makes it awkward for your opponent to play another big creature because it kind of blocks them because of Bane. Soul Hungering Wraith, like a better ninja, but not an officer. Okay. Ballahan, bad silver card, could only evolves for +1/+1. +2/+2. Cerberus, one of their best legendaries. Super sad losing Cerberus. Necropolis Queen. Can get you a few good draws. It's like there's better cards, but it's also not the worst. Deathly Tyrant, rip in pieces. Death Breath is really, really good in Take 2. So good in Take 2. Yeah, they're gonna miss this card a lot. This guy's not that great. 4 damage can win the game, but he has really poor health for a 7-drop. I'll not be too sad about this card. Healing can be okay. Has good stats, but you'd rather play something better on like a later turn. Soul Grinder, decent, but there's more removal in the game, so harder for this guy to work. Yeah, Queen is good. Card Advantage is good, but it's not the best. Like I'm not saying it's bad. Like it's like a good card, but it's not the worst thing to lose. Mordecai is one of the worst things to lose though, because this guy just wins you the game sometimes on turn 8. You play it, they can't remove it because it just keeps coming back, and then you win the game. Pluto. Pretty good card. Not the best legendary, but it's a pretty good removal, and gets you something on the board. But there is still the gold card in the game that gets you a Pluto, and not as good Pluto because it only can target things with 4 or less health. But yeah, Atomy, terrible Take 2 card. Ripping pieces out of, like, they're really glad they don't have to pick this one. Yum, endless fun, yeah. And that's Shadow losing in quite a few good cards, but also losing a lot of just not great cards. Rip memes, yeah. Oh boy, Blood. Losing their 1-drops. Everyone's losing their 1-drops. Rip 1-drops. Losing Ambling Wraith. Losing Cursebrand Vampire. Losing Bloodfed. Who cares about this card? They never want to pick this card. This card's terrible. Unless you like somehow draft a super aggro deck. Pretty bad. Like understated 2-drop, lacking the 1 health. Cobra is just usually a 1/3. It's not too bad losing this. Rain Devil requires Vengeance. Vengeance hard to get. Blood Wolf. Harder to play aggro now. This is just another 2. It's like it's the same thing as Cobra. Also silver, so there's better silvers. You don't want this. You don't want to pick this with a silver card. All standard are moving from yep. No, it's basic set. They're losing their silver cards, but keeping the bronze cards. Standard set, there's no standard set anymore. Dark Summoner. Rip Darks. Like it's a you like a lot of time you just kill yourself with blood. It's one of the cards that gets kill you. It's like a trap, right? Like sure you get a 5/5, but you just die. Yeah, gold and silver and gold basics. Yep. Limitless Way. Not the greatest bronze card. This is a really good bronze 2-drop. Rip Bats. It was Killer Devil. Rip Bats. This is a decent 3-drop because it has a 2/3 stat line. And this is not as good 3-drop because it has a 3/2 stat line. This is like the worst 3-drop. This is a Magma Ranger. Rip Magma Ranger. Succubus, also a good 3-drop, has the 2/3 stat line. Her fact isn't that bad either. Yeah, they weren't very clear. It was like kind of random. They just put it in the patch notes like, oh, I guess I have to go over this now. Terrible silver card. We're losing bats, so this card's not good anymore. So it just goes along with the bat cards. Bad 3-drop. You just like burns yourself. Doesn't even get the +2/+2. You just burn yourself and the opponent. Not a great 3-drop. Very hard for this card to work. Also, he's better golds. 3 cost for 3 damage. Gone. And better removal. Dire Bond, there's better gold cards. Rip Raging Giant. Just a crappy vanilla 4-drop. Barbaric Demon though. Rip Barbaric Demon. You can no longer kill yourself with your 4-drop. Terrible silver card. We're glad losing it. Righteous Devils are pretty good. But only if you're in Vengeance. It has 5 health, which is decent. But it really gets its value if you're in Vengeance, and it's pretty hard to get. It's like better legendaries and golds. Terrible legendary card. No one cares. Ripping pieces. More bats are gone. This is a really good removal card. But no bat synergy, so it's gone. Rip bats. This card's bad. 5 play point 4/4. Against Drain, who cares? Bad. Uranus is better gold and legendaries, but rip waifu material. Beast Dominator. She's gone. Mom's gone. We can still summon Mom though with the gold card. Savage Hunt losing 5 cost removal, but this is silver. It's decent. I usually don't find like it's just like doesn't have a bonus effect. It usually just kill an enemy follower. And there's cheaper ways to do that in Blood. Yeah, no Medusa. No Alucard for that face damage. But they still have Imp Lancer for that face damage. Rip Revelation. No longer have to play around getting your board wiped. No longer saying, oh, they can have Revelation, but they never have it. Situations. Empire Queen's good, but bats are gone. Bats are dead. Rip bats. This is a really bad gold card. And this is like one of the best gold cards I think you can get in Take Two. And it's gone. So we're losing quite a bunch of mediocre cards. Also losing the early game. And bats. Losing bats. So you can't do a bat draft anymore. Losing all the good art, yeah. And Haven. Oh boy, Haven. Oh no, Haven. Haven. I think they want to freshen up Take Two, which is fine, but Haven. Okay. They're losing Pinion Prayer and Sacred Plea. These cards are amazing. Take Two. Oh god, Haven's so dead. Just looking at this. Let's look at these like cards here. They're so dead. Rapid Healer's okay. Just like a poor 2-drop most of the time. Healing can be fine because you can heal your own followers as well. So it's pretty good. It's a good card. Good bronze card too. Really terrible gold card. Never want to pick it up. Same with Love's Gospel. Usually terrible gold card. Never want to pick it up. This is a good 2-drop. This is a really good 2-drop. It's not a great 2-drop. Also silver card. Better silver drops. Guardian Sun. No, Samus is yeah, Samus is dead, right? Oh boy. Guardian Sun. Guardian Sun's great. Take Two. But usually you only get one of them, which is fine. You only want one. Damn, I love drafting this card in Take Two. Hurricane Query is not that great. Just a random removal. I also can't play in turn 2. Really, like, sometimes okay, but there's better ways to remove the board. Double Fangs. Decent. Countdown 4 is pretty long. Well, Sentinel's decent gold card. Not the best, but decent. Kind of sad to lose in it. Devourer of Heaven's just too slow. Countdown 5 is just too long. And so the thing, you get a 6/6, which isn't worth it. Just her Initiate helps you with your amulets. And just has, like, her stats are average. I'd prefer if it was a 2/3, but yeah, it's okay. Dark Priest is really good. Dark Priest is like the 2/3 that they can't attack. You play on the board, gets Bane in opponent's turn. It kills a few of their things. Kills like the 2-drop. Becomes a 2/1. And it sits there to the whole game, and they can't deal with it. Beats them down. Really good 3-drop. Temple Defender. Unless you're facing a bunch of like 2/2s, it stalls the game like on turn 3 just for a little bit, but it's pretty easy to remove because she only has technically like 3 health. But it has ward, so late in the game it can stall against something big. Yeah, it's a pretty good silver card. Losing it. Prism Priestess is good. Cycles you like cycles itself. Peters out a amulet. But you lose tempo because it has poor stats for its cost. Radiant Shaman has the right stats for its cost, but you don't really want to evolve it because it doesn't get the +2/+2. Holy Mage is good. Like a lot of the time, if you have enough amulets to go along with it, it can be really good. It's not too bad losing it. Power Protection, you usually don't want to draft this. Healing Prayer, you don't usually want to draft this. Because it just unless you get the perfect situation where you got a bunch of amulets, it just lose tempo. Birdsong's really good 3-drop amulet, losing it. Guardian Nun's a really good 4-drop because of that +2 attack. It makes it awkward for your opponent to evolve and kill it. Canoness is not that great. Cruel Priestess is not that great either. Sometimes the evolve works, but sometimes it's just It doesn't get the +2/+2 stats. So you don't want to evolve it to trade. You only want to evolve it if you have an amulet. Dark Offering's pretty bad gold card. Highest Fox, okay. It has good stats. Like it's a 4/5, right? But you can't play to evolve it because it's an amulet. You still have Arya, yeah. Death Sentence slows opponent down a lot. If you have a way to activate it on turn you play it, it's really good. Rip. Cleric Lancer is really good. Slows the opponent down like a whole bunch. Yeah, it's bad. Shrine Maiden not that good. Healing Priest is not that good. Both have bad stats for their poor stats for their cost, and their effects aren't that great. Divine Armor, hard to deal with, but it has 4 health, so it's usually easy to trade into. But it usually requires to be traded into because I can't remove it with a removal spell. So it's pretty decent, not like the greatest. Yeah, you can have more than 3 Aurelias. You can have 4. How many silvers I think you get? 5? I don't know. Angelic Noble, not that great. Pretty bad gold card. There's better gold card. Lose to Kree. You lose the potential just wiping the board of everything. Lose Moon. Moon's good. There's better legendaries though. Force of Pair is terrible. It's a gold card. Skullfane's terrible. Legendary. Janu, not that great. Not the worst though. White Knight can be huge. It can be a big deal, but also not like the greatest by himself. Bronze basics stay, and all of standards gone. So bronze, silver, and gold are gone, and all of standards gone. Is going to be gone. Mask Giant. It's not too bad. Like fatty. And this guy can just like you play him. If they don't have an answer for it, you just win the game because they can't attack anymore. Just like turns them off from attacking. Yeah. Worst cards are losing. Is there like some early game bronze cards, especially Sacred Plea, Indian Prayer, Mainu, the Nun, Guardian Sun, Dark Priest, Sister Initiate, Temple Defender, Prison Priestess, Birdsong, Cleric Lancer. Death Sentence, okay, yeah. Death Sentence. Decree and Incandescent Dragon. Those are really good. I'm losing them. Alright. That's it. Let's go just for like sake of just finishing it off. Let's go over the bronze card that they're keeping. This is the bronze basics. They're keeping all these cards. So some classes are still gonna have 1-drops. Haven's still gonna have the Summon Pegasus at the 1-drop, so it's not like the worst. Not as good as Pinion Prayer though. Blazing Breath is good. Quick Blader is like Sword's not losing their best 1-drop. This is their best 1-drop. They're not losing this one. Goblin's still around. Water Fairy is still around. Fighter. They're all like decent. None of these are that terrible. And none of these are that terrible cards. I feel like a lot of terrible cards are getting removed, and these are all just like these are all decent. Summon Stone's not that good. He sometimes can be okay, but not that great. Yeah, none of these are that terrible. Conjure 2 Summon's not that good. Treant's not that. Treant can be okay. Hard to say because you have to like play like a turn 7 with 2 fairies to make him work. Acolyte Light's still in the game. Blanchard's still in take 2. Irene Brace not that good. Curate's pretty good. Yeah. Not either that bad. They're not gonna be too like they. None of these cards they want really removed. Okay. So that was that.